Hi, and congratulations on completing week 5, Understanding Hebrew Poetry. As you saw this week, we had a couple of assignments and a discussion board, and I wanted to I know you're going into Thanksgiving, but I wanted to give you just a really quick synopsis of what I was looking for on these assignments. So as we look at assignment 5.1, it was a parallelism worksheet. And the real goal to this, beyond filling out the worksheet, was the ability to evaluate how the New Testament uses this passage. So many times we look at Jesus's crucifixion and we take the words in isolation that he is saying, my God, why have you forsaken me? And that passage is highly misunderstood in the New Testament. Most people tend to say, well, at this point, Jesus has taken on all of the sin of the world, and in doing so, he feels separated and isolated from God, and so forth. While that's great, sounds wonderful, I think that a biblical interpretation of that passage says, wait, David said these exact same words, and so Jesus is not of his own saying, my God, why have you forsaken me? But in fact, Jesus is quoting David, and David is giving a lament. And the lament starts with those words, but ends with trust and faith in God. And so, as I interpret that New Testament passage of Jesus on the cross, it is in fact a lament, not that he believes God has forsaken him, but in spite of the fact that it seems God has forsaken him, Jesus, know that God is going to be there for me. So analyzing this psalm in particular is really helping us to understand the New Testament and Jesus on the cross. So I was looking for two things. I was looking for a completion of the worksheet, but I was looking for a solid discussion in your conclusion of how your findings of this parable, or not this parable, this psalm, can be applied to the New Testament. All right, so just really quickly, as we've done before, synonymous, synthetic, I was looking for you to give me a quote of the verse to show me what kind of parallelism, like if you're on the top, synonymous, and then why. There is synonymous parallelism between the first line and the second line. Mouth and horns are parallel in being both animal parts. Save is parallel with rescued. Both indicate that God will be saved from whatever his trouble is. So that type of part for the first part of the worksheet. Next, I was looking for an analysis of metaphors, simile, hyperbole, and on those two parts, people did very well. The main deductions that I saw were in that final paragraph discussing what it means, in fact, for the New Testament. All right, so assignment 5.2 was Psalm classifications. Again, this is a assignment where you take what you learned in the book, apply it to a psalm. The real deductions came, did people cut corners? And instead of telling me exactly how the psalm matches, but they just say, well, it matches, trust me. So if you look here are two examples. Psalm 118 down at the bottom is a Thanksgiving, and this student has gone through and shown in verses 1 to 4 what it means, and verse 5 how it matches each. But then on praise, they just put continual exclamation of God's glory. Well, I'm looking at more depth on that Psalm 8. But the Psalm 118 is more what I'm looking for, which is why I pulled this. It kind of shows you the difference between what is perfect work, Psalm 118, and what is needing to give more work, Psalm 8. And I was also looking to see if you engage with any outside research or the reading on this. Then finally, we had a evaluate a modern psalm where you took a modern contemporary worship, and then how do you think the lyrics of this song chose, how do they resemble a psalm? So how does modern Christian music resemble a psalm? Again, lots of different ways you could have gone on this. You could have analyzed it as a lament or as a praise, or you could have looked at different types of similes and metaphors, or you could have looked at parallelism. Any of those are fine. I was just wanting to see a solid example and that you understood the concept and that you engaged with others in discussion. So the scores on these were pretty high and everyone did very well. Okay, so good luck on week 6. Have a great Thanksgiving, and I look forward to reading what you folks come up with over the week and over the weekend, and I'll be in touch soon. Thanks.